Welcome along to South Today's Sport, just 2 days out from the Galbraith Shield final, and in the lead-up we're talking to both captains, and it's in random order. We're starting with the Mariners captain Scott Eade as we lead into the biggest day in Southland Club Rugby. Good evening, Scott, welcome along and congratulations on making the finals.
Yeah, cheers Tom, good to be here. I think it's been a while, 10 years since the finals appearance, so it's been a pretty special week in the club.
And you're trying to break that 22-year cycle that everyone talks about. You win every 22 years, but it'll only be 13. You're confident of doing so?
Yeah, I think so. We've been copping a bit of stick about that, the old 22 years, it's not your time yet. But I think we played well last week and we've prepared well again this week. So I think we've just got to be confident and go out there and play our game, and hopefully the result comes our way.
Well, let's look back over the season as a whole. You only dropped 3 games in the season, so you've been pretty consistent, just the odd blip.
Yeah, no, it's been pretty good really. Like last year, I think we probably started poorly and then left our run a little bit late, similar to the Barbars this season. But this season it's sort of been, our defence has really won us matches. Sometimes our attack hasn't been so good, but our D's been pretty consistent all year really. And last Saturday against Star, it was what sort of got it for us, and hopefully it does the job again. And obviously they say D wins championships, so we'll be sort of trying to gun for that again. You
do seem to be playing with a lot of heart. Remember the Barbars game in the country where you were outplayed in the forwards, but somehow you found a way to win that game, and it looked impossible at the beginning, but by the end you had control.
Yeah, it's been sort of weird this year. Like, we probably haven't played as good as attacking rugby as we had over the past couple of years, but sort of like I said, our defence has been what's sort of won us games, and scrambling, guys wanting to get back and make the tackles, get off the ground. And everyone's buying into it, and that was our focus at the start of the season. If we get our defence right, then we've got enough attacking players across the field to be able to score tries, so we just have to stop them, and we've done pretty well this year, I think.
Is there one game that you think you've nailed 80 minutes so far that you look back on and think that that's the template for success?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't say. I don't think we've probably quite clicked all year. I'd probably say the best passage of play we've played all year was probably last weekend against Star. We've had moments all season, but we probably haven't even put really a good half together of just really clinical rugby. Probably on last weekend in the semi-final was probably the most clinical we've been all season. So
good time to be clinical.
Yeah, exactly. They say you don't want to peak too soon.
No.
So
a part of that, the club's going well, isn't it? The other divisional teams have had success. Has that helped having success just throughout the club?
Yeah, I think there's a really good vibe in the club this year. Obviously, Nathan Burgess, the big man Bird, and Jamie McKenzie are running the Bees, and this sort of created a fun environment where the guys want to turn up the training, and they're there for fun. Like obviously Division 2 rugby, you still want to win, but you got to have that fun aspect, and I think they've brought that back, and that sort of created a better club culture, and we obviously mingle a bit, and I think like having that guys mingling together, and that helps the club, and obviously the supporters are loving it. Going to watch both teams doing well, and it's been a really good feeling.
And to be fair, they're pretty loyal, win or lose, aren't they?
Yeah, I actually said that last Saturday after the game at Maris. It was just, they're there, win or lose. They've been there the last 3 or 4 years when the results haven't been that good, and now finally we're giving them something to cheer about. So hopefully we can give them one more cheer.
So let's talk about the 2 clashes between you. Won one, lost one, and you think you possibly should have won both. Yeah, I think the first round we played them out at Woodlands, and they actually had the better of us in the first half, but in the second half probably played some of our better attacking rugby all season. I think we scored 5 tries in the second half, really turned it on. So obviously that gives us a lot of confidence. I think they pretty much have the same team this weekend when we play them. And then in the second round we sort of, we played reasonably well. We had the game in the bag really. We're up by 10 with 10 minutes to go. And then we just sort of went to sleep, and obviously they're a pretty good team. They've been to 5 or 6 finals in a row, so you can't give guys like that a sniff, and we managed to lose that, but I'm still pretty confident. Like, we know we can beat them. They are a very good team, but we just got to go out there and play our game. Well, let's talk about the difference in mentality. They do have that finals experience. Most of that team have played, as you say, not just one, but several, and none of your guys have. Yeah. So how tough is that going to be?
Yeah, I think apart from the old master Seeper.
Oh, yes, of course.
He might be the only one.
Yes.
But yeah, I think it sort of takes a bit of pressure off our shoulders. Like, we like to say they are the favourites going in. They are the top team. They've been to 5 whatever finals, won the last 2. They're going for a 3-peat that hasn't been done since Blues, I think. So we're going there with nothing to lose really. We want to win. We know we can win, but we just got to go out there and do it. Play, express ourselves. Don't need to be bogged down by any pressure.
I suppose it's the same sort of mental preparation that you took into the semi-final. You haven't had a lot of experience there either, and Star have always been a bit of a bugbear for Maris to get past.
Yeah.
You had the right game plan for it.
Yeah, I think last week preparing to the Star game, probably the best week of training we'd had all year. The guys were really excited and fizzed up, and we didn't play the game too early, but we did exactly what we practiced really. We went out there, put our game plan onto the field, and it worked for us. And I think we trained quite well again this week, and we just got to do the same thing. You prepare well, you play well. So yeah.
Yeah, and the squad all fit. You got all the players ready for a selection, or are you holding a few things back as some teams are?
Yeah, I think we're pretty good in the forwards. Just a little bit skinny in the backs the last couple of weeks. I think we might just got to see how Curtis Terra comes through the rest of the trainings, and hopefully he'll be available. He's been out for a couple of weeks.
And he'll want to play. He'll want to play for this.
Yeah, so hopefully we get him right with his hamstring. And other than that, yeah, we're looking right. We lost one of our winger, Byron Curtis, last week. Had a shin injury, so he's out unfortunately. But hopefully we're looking pretty good otherwise.
Well, let's just talk briefly about your own season, captaincy. How have you enjoyed that?
Yeah, I think I've enjoyed it. It was my first season captaining the team last year, and learned a few good lessons. Still would have done it, but I think I've taken those lessons and taken them into this year. Learned how to really calm myself down and think clearly. I think that's probably been the biggest thing.
Do you have to have two sort of parts of your brain, one for the team, one for you?
Yeah, sort of. That was probably also the thing that bowled me down a bit last year. I was worried too much about the captaincy and forgot myself to play rugby. So this year I had a focus. You got guys like Hoover and Seeper in the forwards, and I still need to lead, but still really playing, and sometimes just leading with my game rather than my talk. And I think I've found a bit of a better balance this year, which has obviously helped.
And what position? We've had a bit of a transition, haven't we?
Yeah.
It looks like halfback's the way to go. Is that where would you say you're specialising now?
Yeah, that's
full-time?
Yeah, halfback, obviously heading into the Stags campaign, we've got myself and Taylor Adams, both his 2 nines will be vying for that spot, which is exciting, and it's always a good challenge between the two of us. We're good mates. So, but yeah, I've played a few games for Marist at 9 this year, and obviously in the semi and going into this weekend I'll be playing at 10. Talking with Scouty and that, obviously they think that's the best way we can win, and I'm all for trying to win for the team, and so if that's what's best I'll do that. But obviously play 10 these 2 games and then slot back into 9 next week when we play Mid-Canterbury.
That was steered in that direction, wasn't it, by Sopawanga's transfer here?
Yeah.
If there was doubt, that would push you down that way?
Yeah, definitely. At the start of the season it was sort of still wanting to play 9, but there was no really other 10 down here, so I was stuck in a bit of a rock of a hard place. But obviously with Lima coming, it sort of took a bit of pressure off and meant I could just fully concentrate on working on my skills in 9. So I think it's been good really.
They're 2 completely different jobs. What's been the hardest bit to master, do you think?
It's just the view of the field really. When you're at 9, your view's a lot more condensed. You're just seeing the ruck. And your vision's not probably as wide as what you are at 10. When you're sitting back a little bit, you can see everything. So just getting used to those little things, and just the running, obviously a lot more running at 9. You're running to every ruck.
What you're supposed to be anyway.
Yeah, meant to be. But it's been good though. I played the last 3 or 4 club games at 9, so I got into a bit of a good rhythm there. So I'm pretty happy going into the Stags season.
It's a different kicking game too, isn't it? It's completely different. You've got box kicking and tactical, whereas you've got this expansion of the park.
Yep, no, it is. Been sort of working away at the box kicking and that, and had a few good pointers from John Preston up the road when I spent a week with the Highlanders. So
excellent.
I'm definitely working away at it.
Okay, but one thing, first things first, get Saturday over and done with, and with some success, you hope.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty exciting week really. I was sort of talking to a few of the older Marist supporters, and those sort of some of them brought a tear to their eye to see us we've been a young team, and a lot of us left school in 2010, 2011, and we've come together. We all went to Marist, or a lot of us. And it's taken a couple of years, but we finally got there, and it'd be really good to sort of top it off with a good win and really give the supporters something to be happy about, because they're there week in, week out. So.
All right, all the very best for the final. We'll be there watching, and we can only wish both teams success. All the best.
Cheers.
All right, tomorrow night, Andrew McIntosh. What does he have to say about Woodland's prospects? Join us then. Good night.